The hospital room hummed with a sterile pulse of machines, their steady beeps offering no solace. Beneath a pale lavender blanket lay Sophie Clare, just 8 years old, her delicate frame still as a porcelain doll. Her auburn curls framed a face untouched by color, her small hands limp against the starched sheets. A breathing tube whispered rhythmically, the only sound rivaling the heart monitor's mournful cadence. 5 days ago, she'd been twirling on a stage, her voice soaring through a school recital. Then, in an instant, her legs gave way, her eyes fluttered shut, and she crumpled to the floor, a sound that haunted her father's every waking moment. A rare neurological storm. The doctors called it, a seizure so fierce it locked her mind in a silent coma. Despite the parade of specialists, the cutting-edge scans, the endless tests, no one could coax her back. The world's best minds offered only questions, and Sophie remained lost in a place no one could reach. Elliot Warner, once a titan of Wall Street, sat crumpled beside her bed, his tailored suit creased, his face etched with sleepless grief. The man who closed billion-dollar deals with a steely gaze now felt powerless, his wealth a hollow shield against a void threatening to swallow his daughter. He'd trade every dollar, every triumph, for the sound of her giggle. But money couldn't bridge the distance between them. It was just past midday when the door eased open. A nurse hesitated in the threshold, her voice uncertain. "Mr. Warner, there's a boy outside. He insists on seeing Sophie." Elliot lifted his head, bewildered. "A boy? Who is he?" The nurse faltered. "He's alone, sir. He looks unkempt, maybe homeless." Elliot's brow furrowed. "Why would you let him near here?" Before she could respond, a small figure slipped past her. A young black boy, barefoot, in tattered jeans and a faded gray hoodie streaked with dust. His uncombed hair framed eyes that held a quiet certainty. Elliot rose, alarm flaring. "Hey!" But the boy didn't flinch. He moved to Sophie's bedside, gazing at her with a tenderness that seemed to know her soul. Elliot stepped forward, ready to intervene, but the boy's serene presence held him still. Gently, the boy brushed a stray curl from Sophie's brow and spoke, his voice soft but unshakable. "I know how to bring your daughter back." The room fell silent, the words hanging like a fragile promise. Elliot blinked, his voice sharp with disbelief. "What did you say?" The boy met his gaze, unflinching. "She's not lost. She's waiting, but she needs a guide to find her way." Elliot let out a hollow laugh, raw with pain. "You think you can do what a dozen experts in millions couldn't?" The boy's eyes didn't waver. "I don't have machines or money. I have faith." "She's listening, but she's scared." Elliot's jaw tightened. "This is a hospital, not a chapel." The boy's voice softened. "She doesn't need shelter. She needs love." Elliot shook his head, stepping closer. "That's enough. This is cruel. But then it happened." The heart monitor stuttered, a sudden spike piercing the steady rhythm. Elliot froze. "Did you see that?" The nurse nodded, her eyes wide. The boy leaned closer, resting his small hand by her forehead, his thumb brushing a faint tear from her face. "She's frightened," he murmured. She felt the chaos, the cold hands, the doctor's voices. "She doesn't know if it's safe." He turned to Elliot, his voice steady. "She needs your heart, not your deals." The voice she trusts when the world was soft in hers. Elliot stood paralyzed, his throat tight. The boy nodded. "Call her home." I don't know how." Elliot stammered. "You do. She's waiting." Trembling, Elliot sank beside Sophie. "Sophie, sweetheart," he whispered, tears falling. "It's Daddy. I'm so sorry. I've been here. You shouldn't be scared. I should have been here." The nurse stifled a sob. The boy stood quietly, hands clasped behind his back. The monitor spiked again, longer now, and then Barely perceptible, Sophie's fingers twitched. Elliot gasped, "Did you see that?" The boy met his gaze. "Tomorrow, same time, I'll return." Before anyone could speak, he slipped away. That night, Elliot didn't sleep. He perched in the corner, eyes locked on Sophie's monitor. Her vitals held steady, save for those moments after the boy's touch, moments that defied logic, moments he couldn't dismiss. The boy had left no name, no trace, yet his words echoed. "She's afraid." They cut deep. He hadn't spoken to Sophie from his heart in years, not since work had turned their time into later. Now, later was a luxury he'd feared lost. The next day, at precisely 12:15 p.m., the door creaked open. The boy returned, hoodie unchanged, but his face softer, almost luminous. "You came back," Elliot said. "I promise." He nodded, moved to Sophie's side, taking her hand gently. Her cheeks held a faint flush, her lips less ashen, her lips less pale. The air felt lighter, hope slipping in. Elliot leaned closer. "What do I do?" The boy paused and said, "Speak from your soul's ache." Elliot didn't know how. Not in boardrooms, not in fatherhood, but he sat down anyway. He sat, grasping Sophie's other hand, and let the words spill out. "I'm sorry," he whispered, voice cracking. "I should have been there, not on calls. You were so happy, your voice like sunlight. I missed it. I'll never forgive myself. I'd give anything to hold you again, to be the dad you deserve. Please come back." A tear fell onto her fingers. The boy stood silent. Then he whispered, "She hears you." Then Sophie stirred. Her eyes fluttered, lips parted, and in a faint voice, "Daddy," Elliot gasped, clutching her hand. "I'm here, baby." Her eyes opened, hazy but alive. Find his eyes. "Where were you?" "I never left," he sobbed, breaking. He turned to the boy. "Who are you? How?" The boy smiled, eyes warm. "I'm just someone who hears what others miss." "Why her?" The boy glanced at the sunlight. "I don't know her, but I know how it feels to be unseen." He moved toward the door. "Wait, let me help you. Anything." "I have what I need," he said. "What's that?" "Belief." He was gone. Elliot rushed into the hall. No trace, no name. Only Sophie, awake, her hand warm in his. That night, as she drifted into peaceful sleep, he wrote 3 words: "Speak from love." The next morning, he faced cameras, not with facts, but a boy who'd rekindled his daughter's light with truth. They called it a miracle. Elliot knew it was a truth, awakening to listen, love, and never let time steal what matters. If this touched your heart, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Whirl Tales. Drop a comment telling us where in the world you're watching from. We love hearing from you. Stay compassionate, stay inspired, and keep exploring the beauty of stories.